Imagine you're an F1 driver and you meet a tiny blonde German gremlin at a test, you give him a ride home, and then you never know peace again. Well, you would be Mark Webber. It's episode 7 of Lormas, and today we're getting into the origins of Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel. Mark Webber and Sebastian Vettel met in Jerez in 2005. Seb, as the 2004 winner of Formula BMW, got a test with Williams because BMW was their engine supplier, and Mark Webber was, of course, the F1 driver for Williams, and he was there doing like the morning session in the car, and he recalls Seb looking not physically strong enough and just very young to handle these cars, and he said that Seb told him, these cars are very quick, I don't know if this is for me. And Seb many years later would say that he shot himself in the car for those first couple of laps, and he was thinking, this is for real men, not for me, but obviously eventually got used to it. He said that his neck was so sore and that Mark drove him and his dad to the airport, or I've also seen it that he drove them back to the hotel. Anyway, then later that year in December of 2005, BMW was hosting a Christmas event party situation in Austria, and both Mark and Seb, and presumably Nico Rosberg, are there as well. Mark is playing a didgeridoo, they're doing wintry activities, it looks like a ball. In 2006, Mark is still driving for Williams. They first lock horns in Fuji, Japan, 2007. It is raining cats and dogs, torrential rain, okay? Lewis Hamilton is leading, Mark Webber is in second, potential first podium here.
I'm vomiting, coming out, vomiting, I can't drive.
Sebastian Vettel is in third in the Toro Rosso, okay? And Lewis Hamilton brakes suddenly. Seb doesn't catch it. He rams straight into the back of Mark Webber. And Sebastian Vettel is in the garage crying. Mark Webber is saying things like,
it was kids, isn't it? Kids with not enough experience to do a good job, and then they fuck it all up.
In 2008, once it's announced that Seb and Mark are going to be teammates at Red Bull in 2009, in Singapore, they go on this night out to experience Singapore. And basically, the Crashgate situation is going to happen in 3 days. And these two are on a teammate bonding date, making drinks, being driven around. It's a whole situation. 2009, they both get their first wins. Seb in China, Mark in Germany. 2010, things start to really escalate, okay? It's the Monaco Grand Prix and it's quali day. They're both looking at these Porsches, the 997 GT2 RSs, and Seb is like, we should get those, and Mark is like, okay. And they qualify. Mark is on pole, Seb is not, and Mark goes, you still want to get the cars? And Seb is like, yeah. So they go that night, they get them. Mark gets the black one, Seb gets the white one. The next day, Mark wins the race. He is jumping into the pool. Seb is trying to pull him in, and he's failing and he's falling in, and then they get kind of secluded into a corner, and Mark is like, how are we going to get out of this scene? And Seb is like, we jump, of course. And so they jump, and they're high, they're up on the energy station of Red Bull. They're not the same place down low where Charles was. He jumped in the harbor. So they jump, and then Mark is realizing when they're in the water that their suits are getting really heavy. It's hard to swim. He feels like he's going to drown, but eventually they get to dry land. Seb is pulling him out. They're heaving. It's a whole ordeal, but it's a good time.